Hi there, are you tired of your old sauce being barbecue sauce? We have the product for you, as we like to call it, the mathematical sauce.
Alright guys, let's go over quiz number 3 on quadratic standard form 1.1 and 1.2, October 30th, 2023. For questions 1A and 1B, use colors or shapes to draw on the picture. It's asking what are the solutions. Solutions are the x-intercepts, the zeros, or the root. So I have a guy shooting a basketball here. Hopefully you recognize that this was the x-axis, and then where you start and where you end is where it crosses. Those are our solutions. Those are my stars. And then 1B, where's the vertex? In this case, it is use a dot. That is at the highest point. That is the maximum. Number 2, given the graph, find the following in interval notation. Domain is the x values. They go from left to right. Just ask yourself, is it touching the graph over here? That is true because you have this arrow, so negative numbers to positive numbers, negative infinity to positive infinity. Remember, that's kind of like all real numbers with inequalities. And when you're using negative and positive infinities, there's always parentheses. Always on the left side, you're always going to have either a negative infinity or a negative number. It might be a positive number, but you have 2 arrows here. The range is the y values. You're going to go from bottom to top. Watch how I move my pen. I start here at the bottom. This is negative numbers, negative infinity, and on the y-axis it's going to stop at 0. 0 is a bracket. You're going to include that, which means that this is like a filled-in circle. I took 1 point if you had switched it like 0, negative infinity. There at the bottom there, label the y-intercept with the shape of a star. This is the y-axis. So where the graph hits the y-axis, that is a star there, that's called the y-intercept. Label the x-intercepts using the shape of a dot. So here's my parabola, and here's the dots. I gave you 1 point if you were on the correct axis. Like for example, I saw a star like way up here, I would have given 1 point. Backside, make sure to show all your work. SW, show work. Box your answers. Given the quadratic equation, what is the vertex? The vertex is blank, blank. Hint, use the AOS, the axis of symmetry, then sub back into the original ordered pair. Here's your quadratic function. Your a value is always in front of the x squared, so that a value is positive 1. Your b value is always in front of the x, so that is negative 8, and your c value is 12. Your axis of symmetry formula is x equals negative b over 2a. A common mistake is seeing this negative sign and thinking you don't have to do anything here. Your b value is a negative 8. B value is negative 8. Your a value is a positive 1. So 2 times 1 is 2. Negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4. And the opposite of negative 4, this is a positive 4. Positive 4. So again, you have to see the minus there. Okay, now that I know that my x value is 4, for every x value, you're just going to put it back, sub it back into the original. So every x value here is going to become 4. Let it focus. So here you're going to have 4 squared is 16. Negative 8 times 4 is negative 32 plus 12. So that's negative 16 plus 12 would give you negative 4. 4, negative 4 is your answer. Okay, next question. Given the vertex you found in the previous question, so 4, negative 4 is going to go into my order pair, and it's going to go in the middle. It must go in the middle, always. Here is 4. You're going to pick 2 numbers to the right, 2 numbers to the left, counting by 1. And you can just input that into your calculator. Find one of these y values here by go ahead and doing it by hand. So for example, you might find 6 and kind of do the same thing we did there on the upper right. 6 squared minus 8 times 6 plus 12. 36 minus 48 plus 12. That equals negative 12 plus 12. That'll give you a 0. So when I put in 6, I get 0. So I only had to do that one time, not just your calculator. And then over here, it tells you to graph it. So just take these order pairs and graph it. Right 6, stay. Right 5, down 3. Right 4, down 4. Right 3, down 3. Right 2, and stay. You have the 5 points, and then you can just draw a U there. And then your last one, we didn't have colors, we had shapes. So draw on the picture above, draw the axis of symmetry with a bold dotted line. So here is the bold dotted line there that cuts your parabola in half. And label the vertex as a max min using the dot. So in this case, it is a minimum right there. And I gave you 1.5 points. Even if your graph was incorrect, and you were able to identify those. So I hope these corrections were helpful for you to help you guys do well in your test. We'll see you later. Bye.
The new all-purpose Inkman has arrived with all your favorite catchphrases like
It's time for game plans.
and capable of doing anything you need.
I use mine as a bookmark.
I use him to help teach my class.
It's time for game plans.
And for a limited time offer, you can get yourself a silly man too.